Deep in the heart of Antarctica lies a glacier of immense proportions and even greater consequence. This is not just any glacier. It is a colossal ice stream that has captured the attention of scientists and environmentalists worldwide. Known as Thwaites Glacier, this massive ice formation has earned a rather unsettling nickname, the Doomsday Glacier. This name, while dramatic, is not without reason. This moniker, while dramatic, underscores the very real and very serious threat that Thwaites poses to our planet. Scientists have been closely monitoring this glacier for years, and their findings are deeply concerning. The glacier you see is melting at an alarming rate, and its demise could have catastrophic consequences for global sea levels. The rate at which it is losing ice is accelerating, and this has profound implications for coastal communities around the world. The very existence of Thwaites and its precarious state serves as a stark reminder of the powerful forces shaping our world and the urgent need to address climate change. The cracks and calving icebergs are visible signs of a much larger problem. The name Doomsday Glacier might sound like something out of a science fiction film, but the reality is far more serious. The potential impact of its collapse is not a distant threat. It is a pressing issue that demands immediate attention. Thwaites is enormous, roughly the size of Florida, and holds enough ice to raise global sea levels by over 2 feet. This comparison helps to visualize the sheer scale of the glacier and the potential impact of its melting. What's more, Thwaites acts like a cork in a bottle, holding back a vast amount of ice in West Antarctica. This barrier is crucial in maintaining the stability of the surrounding ice. If Thwaites were to collapse completely, it could trigger a chain reaction, leading to the destabilization of the entire West Antarctic Ice Sheet. This would not only affect Antarctica, but have global repercussions. This would be a catastrophic event, resulting in a sea level rise that would redraw coastlines around the world. Cities and towns along the coast would face unprecedented challenges, and millions of people could be displaced. Recent studies have painted a sobering picture of the situation at Thwaites Glacier, often referred to as the Doomsday Glacier, due to its potential impact on global sea levels. Researchers have been closely monitoring the glacier for years, using a variety of sophisticated techniques to track its movement and melt rate. These methods include satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and even underwater robots to gather comprehensive data. Their findings are deeply concerning. The rate of ice loss from Thwaites has doubled in the past 3 decades, a trend that shows no signs of slowing down. This acceleration is largely attributed to warming ocean waters, which are melting the glacier from below. The warm water seeps into cracks and crevices, further destabilizing the ice. The potential consequences of this melting are profound and far-reaching. Scientists estimate that if Thwaites were to collapse entirely, it could contribute to a global sea level rise of over 2 feet. This would be a catastrophic event with global repercussions. This may not sound like much, but even a small rise in sea level can have devastating impacts on coastal communities around the world. Cities like Miami, New York, and Tokyo could face unprecedented flooding. Low-lying areas would be inundated, displacing millions of people and causing billions of dollars in damage. The economic and humanitarian toll would be immense. The very fabric of our civilizations, built upon a delicate balance with the natural world, is at stake. Immediate action and global cooperation are essential to mitigate these looming threats. To understand the full extent of the threat posed by Thwaites Glacier, scientists have embarked on ambitious research expeditions to one of the most remote and unforgiving environments on Earth. The harsh conditions of Antarctica make it a challenging place to conduct research, but the stakes are incredibly high. These expeditions employ cutting-edge technology, including autonomous underwater robots, to study the glacier from all angles. These robots are designed to withstand the extreme cold and pressure of the icy waters. These robots, equipped with an array of sensors and cameras, are able to dive beneath the ice shelf and map the underside of the glacier in unprecedented detail. The high-resolution data they gather is crucial for understanding the glacier's structure and behavior. The data collected by these robotic explorers is providing invaluable insights into the processes driving the glacier's melt. Scientists analyze this data to identify patterns and predict future changes. For example, scientists have discovered that warm water currents are channeled beneath the glacier, creating hidden meltwater channels that are accelerating the rate of ice loss. These channels are not visible from the surface, making the robot's work even more critical. These findings are helping to refine our understanding of the complex interplay between the ocean, ice, and atmosphere in this critical region. By studying these interactions, researchers can develop more accurate models of glacier behavior and to improve projections of future sea level rise. This research is essential for preparing coastal communities around the world for the impacts of rising sea levels, ensuring that we can mitigate the effects of climate change. The implications of Thwaites' potential collapse extend far beyond the icy realm of Antarctica. A sea level rise of 2 feet or more would have profound consequences for coastal communities around the globe. From the bustling megacities of Asia to the low-lying islands of the Pacific, the impacts would be felt far and wide. Rising seas would inundate coastal areas, displacing millions of people and causing widespread economic disruption. Imagine for a moment the bustling streets of Miami, the iconic skyline of New York City, or the historic landmarks of London, partially submerged beneath rising waters. This is not a scene from a disaster film. It is a stark possibility if we fail to act on climate change. The very foundation of our civilizations, built upon a delicate balance with the natural world, is at stake. Perhaps even more concerning than the direct impact of Thwaites' melting is the potential for a domino effect. Thwaites Glacier acts like a giant cork holding back a vast amount of ice in West Antarctica. If Thwaites were to collapse, it could destabilize the entire West Antarctic Ice Sheet, leading to a much more dramatic rise in sea level. The West Antarctic Ice Sheet contains enough ice to raise global sea levels by over 10 feet. While a complete collapse of the ice sheet is not considered imminent, the potential for such an event is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of Earth's systems and the far-reaching consequences of our actions. The fate of Thwaites Glacier is inextricably linked to the fate of our planet, and the time to act is now. The urgency of the situation at Thwaites Glacier cannot be overstated. We are at a critical juncture in Earth's history, and the choices we make today will have profound consequences for generations to come. The science is clear. Climate change is real. It is happening now, and it is driven by human activity. The melting of Thwaites Glacier is just one of many alarming indicators of a planet in distress. We are witnessing the consequences of our actions in real time, from more extreme weather events to rising sea levels. The Earth is sending us a clear message, and it is time for us to listen. We have the knowledge, the tools, and the technology to address this challenge. But what we need now is the collective will to act. The challenge of climate change is a global one, requiring a coordinated global response. No single nation, no single community, and no single individual is immune to its effects. Just as the atmosphere we share knows no borders, so too must our efforts to protect it transcend political and geographical boundaries. We must move beyond the rhetoric of blame and division and embrace a spirit of collaboration and shared responsibility. The fate of our planet and the well-being of future generations depends on our ability to come together as a global community and take decisive action. While the situation at Thwaites Glacier is undeniably dire, it is important to remember that we are not powerless in the face of this challenge. Human ingenuity has always been our greatest asset, and it is in times of crisis that our capacity for innovation and collaboration truly shines. Around the world, scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and policymakers are working tirelessly to develop and deploy solutions to combat climate change. From renewable energy technologies to sustainable agricultural practices, from carbon capture and storage to climate-resilient infrastructure, we are witnessing a surge in innovation and a growing recognition of the need for systemic change. The choices we make today will determine the course of our planet's future and shape the legacy we leave behind for generations to come. Will we be remembered as the generation that stood idly by as the world around us crumbled, or will we rise to the challenge and forge a new path toward a more sustainable and equitable future? The time for complacency is long gone. We must embrace a bold vision for the future, one in which we harness the power of human ingenuity to create a world where economic prosperity goes hand in hand with environmental stewardship. A world where we live in harmony with nature, not in conflict with it. The fight against climate change is not a distant battle to be fought by future generations. It is a battle that is being waged here and now, and every single one of us has a role to play. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the challenge, but we must remember that even small actions can have a ripple effect. By making conscious choices in our daily lives, from the food we eat to the way we travel, from the products we buy to the way we power our homes, we can collectively make a difference. Every action, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. The situation at Thwaites Glacier is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of Earth's systems and the urgent need for collective action to address the climate crisis. We are at a crossroads in human history, and the choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and the well-being of generations to come. Let us heed the warnings of our planet, embrace the power of human ingenuity, and work together to create a future where both humanity and nature can thrive. The time to act is now. Let us not be the generation that failed to